Welcome back to the Dead Batteries podcast, where apparently it's legal to call the FBI and ask for the personal file they have on you. I'm Dutch.
I'm Jose, and I'm just as shocked as everybody else is. That's cool.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I can't remember where I heard that, but it's apparently that's something you can do. So I'm not entirely sure.
I want my file. I want to know what they have on me. I'll test it out. Don't worry.
You'll test it. Okay.
Oh my god. But this episode we have a little bit of a treat. We're gonna talk about what are we gonna talk about again, Dutch?
I don't know. I was honestly last episode. I was not into it. I was, and I'm to be fair, I'm not into this episode either. But like last episode, my energy levels were on the shitter.
Not the best, of course. No, of course.
I was getting a little drained. So
I
I just wasn't feeling it. And today it's
course,
not going to be much better, but at least my energy levels are up.
Of course. That's life. That's life. We just gotta push through and deal with. We gotta deal with sometimes. You know, that's the shitty part. You know, unfortunately, time never stops.
Yep.
But hey, man, what matters is that we're here, we're alive, and we're still struggling, bro. You know, we're all coal, and the more pressure we get, the more likely we are to become diamond.
I heard a saying over the last week. In regards to life.
Yes.
We're all not going to make it. None of us are going to make it out of this alive.
That's very true. That's very true.
Very true.
That's the one thing in life you are guaranteed that you will die eventually.
Yep.
You know, and that's funny because that kind of segues into our topic, which to my understanding, it's. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wanted to do a little preamble, just kind of what
by
we've
all
been doing
means,
the last
go.
couple of weeks.
By all means, go. I'll just touch on this later. I need a pen and paper now.
Oh, okay. Last night I went to go see, at the time of this recording,
Avatar.
Opening weekend Avatar. I went and saw it in 3D. Cost me $70 for 3 tickets.
Fucking hell.
And then
Jesus.
almost $50 for snacks.
Whoa. Oh my goodness. So yeah, you were definitely paying for everything. Jesus Christ.
Well, luckily I said, hey, ask mom for some cash because I'm.
I feel that. But I don't know what it is with kids, but they feel like your money is their money. I wish I had that luxury sometimes because my sister every weekend she's like, hey, let's go to the Asian store over there because she likes the ramuns, which are the little Asian drinks.
Mm-hmm.
The ones you gotta pop it with like some force. I don't know, but I swear to God, I go there and we just go there and they're $4 a drink, mind you. They're $4 a pop, and she buys like 7 of them, and then she wants to look at the store and buy everything else, like Japanese candy, Japanese noodles, and shit like that. And I end up spending $100, and I'm like, ouch, that hurts.
Apparently, there's a new Asian style store in close by me. Well, not close, but relatively speaking. So I gotta go check that out. Probably. Well, next weekend is Christmas weekend, so I'm gonna be not home, but
of course.
I don't know. Maybe I'll go try it out or check it out tomorrow or next week or later this week or something.
I don't know if this is me being pretentious or whatever, but Japanese noodles definitely taste so much more different than like the American noodles. Like I don't know, they just taste more.
Well, because I mean,
clean.
it's just made with different ingredients. You know what I mean? It's all.
Oh, I don't know. I can't read Asian, so I don't know what the fuck it's made from.
Well, you just got to know the basics of what they're made of. You can look that up at any time.
Yeah, see, but why would I do that when I can just try it out and see if I like it. You get me? Why am I gonna go to Google, try to translate
Well,
this,
no,
try
I'm
to
just
figure out
saying
what the
in
fuck
general,
noodles are
if you
come from?
like this style of noodle, why wouldn't you look it up and see what it's made out of? You know what I mean?
Because I like it already, so there's no point in me looking it up again.
All right, fine, whatever. Um, but yeah, I went to go see Avatar. It was
Mm-hmm.
really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen it yet or not.
I haven't seen the original. I'm gonna go see the second one today. So, uh,
So you haven't seen the original, and you're gonna go see the
no.
second one.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I will say it's it's standalone for the most part.
Uh huh.
Uh,
Standalone for the most part.
Standalone for the most part. The beginning of it, it kind of does run through. Hey, this is what happened in the last film. This is what we've been doing. Because obviously, between these two films, the actual 13-year gap between 2009 and 2022, that's also the in universe timeline as well. So 13 years has happened in between.
Mm.
But I think all that you basically need to know is human colonization on alien planet bad. Bad guy with scar on his face gets killed and gets resurrected, and they're going
As an
after.
as an
They're
alien
go-
person.
Yep.
Ah. Because
I,
because I understand the general gist. Because either through just people talking about it or videos I've
mhm.
watched where I think it's some crippled guy in a wheelchair becomes the avatar people to
Yep.
like kind of swindle them into accepting the humans
It's
or
it's
something like that.
Pocahontas. It's Pocahontas with blue people.
The color of the wind. That song is amazing. Do they have musicals over there?
You know, I mean, unless you can call the in game or in
In
movie
game,
sound
okay.
in music in movie soundtrack
No, that's
musicals,
not a
which
musical.
but I mean there are some pretty steamy scenes. Um,
Whoa, steamy,
get a little hot and bothered.
steamy. Now I gotta go watch the original, bro. Now I gotta go watch the original.
I do like I will say
Uh huh.
um, the original. There's not a whole lot of substance to it outside of the visuals. I mean, if you've seen Fern Gully, if you've seen Pocahontas, any one of the
Yes.
Dances with Wolves, it's all of those combined with blue people visual effects. That's
Ooh.
the main character, Jake Sully. He's not much of a character. This new one, they've improved on everything. The visual effects, the story, the action, all this stuff. Because like within the first hour, it makes you care about, because you have to care about these kids that Jake and
Right.
Natiri, Zoe Saldana's character, they have. You have to care about them, and you do, because the movie actually focuses a little more on them than it does Jake and Natiri, because the first one was basically their movie, and Jake learning to become Navi, and
The
but
blue
this
people.
one,
Uh huh.
yep,
Blue man group.
yep, but this one, they're basically, if you've seen, I don't know if you saw any of the recent Planet of the Apes movies, like the new trilogy. Okay. Well,
Is
I
it fucking
can't.
trilogy? I thought it was one. Fucking hell.
Well, no, the Planet of the Apes movies first one I think was in 2009 or 11 or something like that.
That's
Yeah,
so
but
it's
2011, 2014, and 2018 respectively. Rise, Dawn, and War, which that trilogy in and of itself is really fucking good. Go watch that. But yeah, it follows some similar plot beats to that in
right.
like the last of the Planet of the Apes movies. Basically, uh, they're hanging out in the woods, and then something happens, and then they gotta leave. They gotta migrate. So, but no, it surprised me at how just gorgeous this film looked, how how I was made to care about these characters, and surprisingly, I can see because there's like 5 sequels planned.
What?
Yeah, there's like 5 planned sequels, and apparently, from what I heard, they shot them kind of like Endgame and Infinity War. They shot it all together in one big production. They shot all of these movies together, and they're gonna come out every 2 years. The next one's coming out in 2024, 2026, and then 2028.
What the fuck?
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, no, I really did enjoy it. I think it's gonna be. I think you're gonna like it if you have an eye for visual effects. I mean, everything basically looked real, as
Interesting.
real as it can get, and
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it took 13 years to fucking make it, so I hope it's good.
and the many underwater scenes they're gonna put you on your ass.
Under the sea. Under
Apparently
the
the
sea.
God.
Uh-huh.
Apparently the actors and actresses, they all learned how to free dive to be able to pull these scenes off, because so that they can hold their breath for like up to 10 minutes.
Fucking hell. That does not sound humanly possible. 10 minutes? Shit,
Yeah.
I die after a minute. Fuck.
Tom Cruise did it.
Tom Cruise. Wait, in the Mission Impossible series or what?
Yeah, and I think it was Rogue Nation.
Oh,
There was a scene where he's like underwater for 4 minutes, and it's almost one take.
But so Tom Cruise is different, bro. That man has the backing of Scientology. Okay, he is beyond. He has transcended humanity. Okay, he's different.
Xenu.
He he can fly. Remember, he can fly. He can
He
fly.
can fly. He can astral project.
That man has transcended humanity, bro. He doesn't count. He doesn't count. That's a god among men right there,
And
bro. That's the
he's
Thanos.
and he's 60.
He's 60. He looks great, bro. He looks like he can pass up as 30, bro. And you're telling me that man is human? He looks the exact same way he did in the original Maverick. Top Gun. I'm sorry. But yeah, that man's not human. I don't care what you say. Everybody's
I'll-
over here judging. What the fuck is his name? Fucking the guy from Facebook, bro. What the fuck is his name?
Jesse Eisenberg
No,
or
no,
Mark
no.
Zuckerman.
There you go, that man, Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, everybody's
Not
calling
the
him
guy
a
who played
lizard.
him.
No, exactly, the actual guy. Everybody's calling him like a lizard and shit, but I don't think people understand who's the true transcendent of humanity, and that's Tom Cruise. There's no way that
Yeah.
man's human.
Probably. You may be right. You may be not right. I mean, he could be a Terminator, just aging slowly.
He can't. So this is the future we get if he actually kills John Carter. He like stops killing people and becomes an actor.
Yeah, maybe.
Now that's a great future.
Now I'm gonna pursue my dream.
Shit, that's crazy. As long as and he's watching Musk do Skynet, bro. He's just waiting. He's plotting.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I also recently watched a movie called X. I don't know if you heard of this movie.
Is it triple X or no?
No, it's just X.
No, never heard of it.
It's a horror movie that came out earlier this year, and funnily enough, it's a horror movie that surrounds a whole bunch of adult film actors.
Oh, okay.
So
Wait, is it with the black dude and like the Barnhouse and shit? Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Yeah. I've heard of it. I just haven't seen it. Yeah.
It was really good because it says a lot of things about life and aging and beauty, while also at the same time, part of it is just, part of it's a movie, part of it's
Yeah.
a porno, and then the last half is a horror movie.
That's funny. Part of it's a porno. That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, it really makes you think of like, wow, we're all gonna, again, going back to the aging and the dying, we're all gonna get old and die, and at some point nobody wants to look at us anymore,
Except Tom Cruise.
except Tom Cruise and Paul Rudd.
Who?
Ant-Man.
How old is he?
He's like, I don't know, 40 something.
Oh, but I
But no,
I don't
he
care.
doesn't age. That's the
See, but-
joke.
See, I understood it. I just didn't know who Paul Rudd was, and now you told me he's that man. And I don't know.
age.
Siri, Alexa,
53.
53. That man's old as shit. Holy fuck, he looks young, bro. I thought he was like in his 30s. Jesus Christ.
I need you to just look up the Paul Rudd doesn't age joke, man.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Don't worry. Do not worry. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all gonna die, and I think the best part is see, because my goal in life before I die is to make
Fuck
sure.
a lot of bitches.
Well, well, that's more like the optional objective. You get me?
Oh, okay. So it's an optional side quest.
Of course, exactly, exactly. I can choose to take it
You
or
want to
not.
you want to go out like
I
McConaughey's
don't.
dad fucking his
Yeah,
wife, having a
yeah.
heart attack while he's fucking his wife.
Wow. I don't want to go out, with like herpes and shit in my dick, and have the little worms eat that shit. So,
Well, we're all gonna
but
get eaten by worms.
100%, bro. But are gonna be the dick and give them herpes or not? Like,
You just gotta be careful.
listen, if I'm dead, there's no being careful. Like that's it. I'm gone.
No,
I
you
have
just gotta be
transcended
careful
humanity.
before you do the deed.
Hey, man, see, that's the thing though. Over here in Miami, bro, they lie through their fucking teeth, man. Like you never really know until it's too late, until you get gonorrhea or some shit or crabs. Um,
As long as you contract something that doesn't start with an
as
H, you're fine.
as long as it's curable.
As long as it's curable. Anything that starts with an H is not curable.
Oh my god, no, not the hose. Um, but no, no. My end goal in life is to make sure my family, if I die, they'll be okay. That's my
Mm.
goal, because I'm the older brother, so I have that level of I guess I feel like chivalry is the wrong word, but that level of chivalry, for a lack of a better word, um, as to what I want them to do. Because at the end of the day, as my siblings, I just want nothing for the best for them, even if they're both pieces of shit. But
Mm.
it's Big Brother territory, unfortunately.
Yeah. Um, I can't find a better segue. You wanna?
Yeah, yeah, that could be the segue right there as to into our topic today, which is masculinity and what it is to be a man. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we're gonna segue a little bit into the quote unquote toxic side because I am curious to hear your thoughts on it and if it exists or whatever the case might be. But since I started this, it's a good way to segue into the last point I wanted to make before we continued on a little
Mm-hmm.
adjacent story, which
Tangent.
is exactly, which is death. And I do feel, and you can agree or disagree, and that's the whole point of this podcast. I do feel that having maybe every guy should strive for a legacy of some sort, whether it's through kids and having your wonderful kids or having some sort of a legacy that you will be remembered. Maybe not by everybody, maybe not by the world, but with at least the people you cared about.
I mean, your very existence is proof of that. You know, the connections you make with your family and all
Of
that stuff, family,
course.
friends. That's a legacy right there. I think the people that strive for like exorbitant, like a huge legacy. I think depending on who they are, and obviously hindsight is 2020. Those
Of
really
course.
successful people in life. Obviously they have a huge legacy. But speaking
See,
as of right now, there are people our age that are going to have kind of what you said of just a small family, impact on their family, and there are going to be some people that change the game, completely.
of
And
course.
it's all just a matter of time. You can never. It's the idea of like telling Naruto that he's not going to be Hokage, and then later down the line he's Hokage. I mean, we can people can make all sorts of claims of like this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to be.
Right, right.
What matters is if they have the tenacity to go after it, and do it.
Of course, but I do firmly believe that without a goal, right? If you don't have something in mind, like, hey, I want to be the best friend I can be to Joe
Hmm.
Schmo, or hey, I want to cure cancer, or whatever your goal might be, how crazy or how attainable it is.
Hmm.
I do feel without a goal, you have absolutely no tenacity to, try to reach it. And maybe you're not gonna get your goal, but I'm sure you get hella close. And I do feel that at least through what I've witnessed in around me and people on in my area, a lot of people just don't have goals. They just want to chill, smoke weed, get high, and just do nothing with their life. And that for me is a very, uh, you know, backwards way of thinking.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with doing recreational drugs, At least in my personal opinion.
Right. I'm a firm believer if you do you as long as it doesn't affect me. But go on.
I know people personally, and I know people, and I've seen people
Yes.
who are very successful that
Yes.
smoke weed
Of
recreationally. It's
course.
it's the fact that if you, again, it's down to that personal drive.
Of
If
course.
you
Correlation isn't causation. Yeah.
yep, it's the idea that it's that stoner stereotype. If
Yeah.
you
Of
smoke
course.
weed, you're a lazy piece of shit. You're not doing
Accurate.
anything
Right.
with your life and all that stuff. I will say that I don't smoke weed.
I don't either.
And I mean, right now I'm just kind of
Chilling,
chilling,
cruising.
trying to find my way in the world. It's not that I'm smoking weed. You can
Of
you can make
course.
that same argument with people who don't smoke weed. So I
Of
don't I don't get
course.
that stereotype.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to get that stereotype, but it is a stereotype that you can understand. And I do also agree that not everybody who smokes weed is a lazy piece of shit. Of course, exceptions to every fucking rule. Of course, that goes without saying. But I do feel if you're somebody who's already, let's say laid back, chilling, cruising through life, and you do something recreational like smoking weed, that's the whole purpose of making you chill, relax, and laid back, and do whatever the fuck.
Yep.
Then I don't think that's going to be a very positive aspect in your life. Maybe if you're a go-getter and you need weed to calm down, sure, different scenario, different situation. But if you're already being chilling, cruising through life, then I don't feel like you need something that'll make you, more chiller and more cruising through life. You get me? Because I don't feel that's going to help you in your, you know, end goal. Which, it's again, maybe I'm wrong, but that's at least through what I've witnessed and what I've seen. And I do feel as as a guy, you have to create purpose. You have to create value, whether that's through either becoming the CEO, that's whether that's through creating Tesla, or that whether that's through, being the most positive figure and being the rock to your friends and family. Like I do feel as a guy, you need to have some sort of value. You can't just be, you know, some guy chilling and cruising through life.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And and obviously it doesn't mean now, if you're just chilling cruising through life right now, then you're a piece of shit. No, I'm sure you're finding your way and figuring stuff out, but that's but that's different than just chilling and cruising through life for many years. Of course not, because in your 20s it's cute, you're figuring stuff out, you're still in that learning curve. You just turned 20, you can just get student loans, you can just go to college, so on and so forth. When
Like
you're
the 40-year-old
40,
virgin.
yeah, exactly. When you're 40, like that's it, bro. Like see, that's the thing though. That's the thing though. It's from because I don't want to make it seem like I'm some hard ass or whatever the fuck. Because I used to be very.
Some days you give me that impression.
Hey man. Some days it just hits. But and like I don't die on every hill because that's stupid to me. But there are some hills I will die on.
Of
But
course, there are some that I will as well.
like exactly. But like that's my thing though. It's you you don't have to figure out in your 20s. That's the whole point of your 20s. That's the whole point of going to college. That's the whole point of going to work. That's the whole point of trying to figure out what you want to do. But at some point you got to hunker down and pick something, whether it's a technical school, whether it's college, whether you're just gonna be the manager of McDonald's, whatever the fuck it's gonna be working for you. And like that's the thing though, is I do feel if you have no goal, then you will not achieve maybe anything. And goals change, right? Sometimes goals can be very big and then they become very small. Goals can be very small and then they become very big. Like goals change all the time, but if you don't have something that you want to strive for, then I don't believe you will strive for anything.
Hell, I've heard people go to college and they change their major 5 different times.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
And
it's it's a learning process. It's a what do I truly value and what do I want
of course.
for
And
my
college is yeah, and college is not for everybody. College
yeah
is not for everybody. And there's nothing wrong with that. You can go to
yeah.
technical school or you can just work your way up, whatever the case might be, but you have to do something. And that's what I believe a man should strive for, to do something, to be something. Maybe not the CEO, because I don't want to be a CEO. Don't get me wrong. Like no way in hell I'm going to be a CEO. That's too
I
much
don't want
time.
to sit behind a desk and wear a
Exactly.
suit and
Exactly. But
and that level of responsibility scares the shit out of me.
exactly, and that's perfectly fine. Like not everybody's meant to do everything. Not every guy is meant to lay bricks. Not every guy is meant to work at a CEO office. Not every guy is meant to work at a law firm. Not every guy is meant to be a super cleaner, and that's perfectly fine. You just gotta fit. You just gotta figure out where you fit, and strive to be the best person at whatever the fuck you're doing, you know? And if that's being a janitor, if that's being a McDonald's employee, if that's being the CEO of a major, Fortune 500 company, whatever the fuck it is, you just got to strive to be the best you can at it, because there's only one you and there's only one
Mm-hmm.
person filling that position,
Yeah.
and you just got to do the best you can. And a lot of people just don't, you know?
Yeah. People love to shit on like supermarket workers and fast food guys,
Yeah, and I
but
don't.
like,
Yeah,
I mean, if they weren't there, you know,
yeah. Go make
you
your own
wouldn't.
burger.
You go make your own fucking burger, and like, there's a lot of shit that goes into that with, you know, that they don't realize. I mean,
Of course.
but yeah, no, I think I think there's an inherent bias for like the working class type of jobs. You know, those burger
Yeah,
flipping.
the
You
blue
know,
collars. Yeah,
yeah. So, which is kind of, I mean, again, if
yeah.
we didn't have that stuff in this first
Society,
world
yeah, society wouldn't function. Like,
country,
yeah,
yeah,
like how many? Like, I don't know about you, but I can literally an infinite amount of times. Mom is like, "Oh, you better go to school. You better study. You better go to college. Whatever, you know, whatever, because you don't want to end up like that garbage man over there or whatever the fuck." And then, you know, as I
that
become an
guy.
adult, yeah, and as I become an adult, I'm like, "Yo, that garbage man makes like 60 to 70K. That's more than fucking teachers. What the fuck, you know?"
And I'm sure there's parts of his job that he loves.
Yeah,
You
of
know,
course. Yeah, you know,
some people, it's like that's some people, that's what they want to do, and they're fine doing it. So
yeah.
why the hell are you disparaging what he wants to do, or you know what his chosen path is? You
Yeah,
know.
and even if it's not chosen, right? Even if he's forced into it because, you know, unfortunately maybe he wasn't good enough to go to college or whatever,
Yep.
you know, like he's still going at it. He still has a job. He's being a productive member of society. He's not being a leech. So that's in itself values merit. And a lot of people just don't understand that. A lot of people, like a lot of people, you know, guys, girls, and everything in between, they all think that white collar jobs, you know, your fancy schmancy offices jobs and shit like that, like that's where you want to be. Like fuck all these job and manual labors and shit like that. And I'm the opposite. Like I have an office job, and I don't want to be in my office job. I want to be something that I can work with my hands, like a mechanic, or
Really.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, dude. Like I want, like I've changed my own oil, changed my own tires, I changed my own filters, like in my car, like I do, because I grew up poor. So a lot of these things I couldn't just go to a mechanic and be like, hey, fix my shit, you know. Like I had to either figure it out or it had to be tossed away or whatever the case might be. So I got used to working with my hands and trying to fix my own shit. So I grew up with my hands, and you know, and I work in an office job. I've been there since I was 18, you know, in law offices and shit like that, and it's boring as fuck. And I, you know, it gets the job done, right? I'm being a productive member, helping people with their, you know, insurance or whatever the case. But at the end of the day, that's not where I want to be. I have a goal, and my goal is to do something that works with my hand, either be an IT guy, become a pilot, which is what I'm trying to figure out right now in the school I'm going at right now.
So are you doing commercial or just personal
I want to eventually get
recreational?
to I want to do eventually get to commercial, but obviously I have
Really?
to go through the whole process, you know. So
Yeah,
it's, you know,
that's
recreational, one engine, two engine, so on and so
yep.
forth.
Yep.
So that's something I do want to figure out. But that's the whole thing though. It's sometimes you're put in life where you have to deal with the bullshit, right? Like you have to become the garbage man, even if maybe you don't want to be that.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. But
There's
it's exactly, you still have your goal. You still have the reason why you continue living. Like my goal is to eventually, as I said, be something with my hands, pilot, mechanic, IT guy, whatever the fuck it is. You know, something with my hands. I don't really care too much as to what it has to financially be, but but I have a goal. Yeah, I mean it's not a very concrete goal, but it's a goal.
same here. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. You know, just
Yeah.
trying to work at it.
See, and that's what I feel, in my opinion, makes a man. You know, because men, we have no value. We must create our value, right? Like all the finances, all the cars, all the bitches, all, you know, whatever the fuck. Like you have
Transitioning into masculinity talk. Okay.
exactly, exactly,
Okay. Anyway,
exactly.
keep going.
As a man, you must create your own value. As a man, I think it was Jordan Peterson who said this. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm really sure it is. And I'm going to butcher the quote. But it goes something along the lines, if you want to be a very dangerous man who has self-control, you don't want to be the weak man, you know? Like you don't want to be somebody who can't do anything, right? You know, like if somebody goes ahead and slaps your girl's ass and, you know, you're like a 108, you know, twink, Like you're not gonna beat some muscle head motherfucker. You get me? Like you want to be dangerous, whether that's physically through workouts and muscular gains and whatever the fuck, or mentally through your brain and figuring shit out, whatever the case might be. Like like that's what I try to strive for. That's why I'm working out. So I'm going to the gym and shit like that, because I don't want to be the weak man. I want to be the one who has, I guess, quote unquote, power in the room.
See, I get that, but the idea again, this is the what does it mean to be a man?
Right.
I don't think if because not only do we have people transitioned people and all that other stuff, we have gay men,
Right.
we have straight men,
Right.
but the idea that people put boundaries on what it means to be a man,
Yeah.
that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, because I know people of all shapes, sizes, religions, beliefs, all that kind of stuff. I don't question their masculinity for because they don't look a certain way, because they don't act a certain way. If they believe themselves to be a man,
Right.
they're a man.
Okay.
The idea that people because I'm not, by what you're
Right.
defining
Right.
as a man,
Right.
I
Right.
would not be considered a man, because I am not I'm not fit in the traditional sense. I've got somewhere between a dad bod and a
Yeah.
muscular bod. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I am not the go-getter, take charge presence in the room. I may have a
Right.
deep voice that I use when absolutely necessary, but I'm not the trying to intimidate people when I walk into a room. I'm not trying to
Right.
take charge. The
Right.
that
But then
it
again,
just
but then again, I feel you missed the point where I says you want to be a dangerous man who has self control. You get me? And once again, I said physically and mentally. I don't, so maybe you have a dad
Okay.
bod, but you're the genius in the room. And shit. Like I'm not
okay. Well,
saying
then I'm
like,
not that either mentally. So
no, no, look,
what's the
hold
point
on,
here? I don't question my
hold on,
masculinity.
hold on now. I feel like you're taking this a little bit too personal. Hold on now. I'm
Okay,
kidding.
let's
This joke.
go.
Okay, so this is my situation. Like obviously, I have gay friends, I have bi friends, I have trans friends. Like
Yep.
same spectrum, right? All shapes and sizes, whatever. But I don't question their masculinity. Like if you want to be, a girl and you want to say, hey, I'm a guy, I transition, whatever. Hey, you do you. I'm not saying it. I'm not putting my own restrictions on everybody else. Like I'm not putting my restrictions on you. I'm putting it on
Religion,
myself.
we're talking to you.
Yeah, exactly. Please. But I'm putting my own what's the word I'm looking for? My own requirements on myself. Like dangerous man should be me. Like being physically fit should be me. Like I'm putting all this on me. Like I'm not gonna go out there and be like, hey, I don't think Dutch is a man because X, Y, and Z, because the way I perceive it and the way I feel. Because obviously the way I feel and I perceive it is my own perception and my own reality, and it works for me. You get me? Like there are some things I do take and say every man should be this. Like for example, having a goal, creating value, like being always striving to be better. Like I do feel every guy should strive for this, right? Now I don't feel that every guy should be dangerous. I don't feel every guy should physically work on themselves. I don't feel every guy should mentally work on themselves. I don't feel that every guy should be the dangerous guy in the room that just has self-control. I feel like that's something I should be, and I don't put that on everybody else.
Okay. So, by your general terms, your wide brush that you
Yes.
would prefer for anybody who identifies themselves as a man, you just want them to have purpose. Essentially,
Yes.
is what you want.
Yes.
You don't have any preconceived ideas of physical attributes,
No.
mental attributes to a certain extent. It's things like that, right?
Yeah,
Is
of
that
course.
kind of what I'm?
Oh, yeah, because everybody
The-
has different bodies.
Yep. Yeah. You sent me two
Yes, Jordan Peterson videos, if I'm not
two
mistaken.
Jordan
Yes.
Peterson videos, which I'll be honest, I did not watch, because Jordan Peterson and
Yes.
Ben Shapiro, in
Yes.
my opinion,
Yes.
are
Yes.
overly toxic.
Yes. So that's a good segue. So Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro, I I listen to them. Okay, I
Mm-hmm.
listen to them, but I don't agree with everything they say. And
Okay.
that's how life should be. You get me? Like when when
Mm-hmm.
when they talk about stuff they really know about.
You shouldn't be like blanket. Hey, I agree with everything this guy says.
Of course, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know,
Okay. Fair enough.
so in that sense, I do believe you're coming from an aspect of like the same thing with Andrew Tate, for example, like that, like pinnacle of toxic masculinity, right? That's what
Mm-hmm.
everybody says on the internet, right? Andrew Tate. Now, there are some things I do agree with Andrew Tate, and there's a bunch of things I don't agree with Andrew Tate. Does that mean now I'm a toxic male because I listen to Andrew Tate? Because I've heard stories where girlfriends break up with their boyfriends because they listen to Andrew Tate, and that to me is ridiculous.
Mm.
But different topic, whatever. And I do feel you should listen to because I always like to hear the other side, right? Like obviously, I'm not a racist or anything, but I would definitely like to hear a
Clip
KKK
it.
member speak, and I do feel you need to hear the other side, which is why I sent you the Jordan Peterson videos because I
Mm-hmm.
do feel at least the topics he specifically talks about in the videos I've sent to you, the little snippets and clippets.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very good food for thought. You get me? You don't have to agree. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to say he's right, but it's a very food for thought where you're like, maybe he has a point, maybe he doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And in those topics, what he says is there's a just to very, very condensate the like 24-minute videos I sent.
Mm-hmm.
It's roughly along the lines of a guy and a girl have their purpose, right? Like we like to say a guy and a girl, for all the years we've been alive, don't have their own individual purpose, right? Like guys go hunt, and girls go
Mm-hmm.
forage, like
Which I've
we're
seen both do either.
exact, of course, but once again, that's
Mm-hmm.
exceptions to the rule. And should the exceptions now become the rule? Because I guarantee you there are girls out there that can 100% fold me like a pancake, bro. They can beat my
Mm-hmm.
ass, absolutely no issues whatsoever. Of
Yep.
course, I don't deny that,
Mm-hmm.
but those are exceptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not the rule, and that's where this whole thing comes into play. Where I don't feel the exceptions should be the rule. Like, oh, there's some girls that can kick your ass, Jose. That means girls aren't weak. I'm like, no. Girls are generally weaker than men. On average, of course, there's exceptions, but the majority aren't. You get me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I feel that at least specifically comes into play. But anywho, going back on topic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as I said, as a guy, I do feel you need to have a purpose and you need to have
Mm-hmm.
value, right? And some people can say, "Oh, that's a toxic way of thinking." It's a very smooth brain or very like caveman thinking, whatever. But like I've gone in my life where I had no purpose, where my only purpose was to play video games, where
Mm-hmm.
my only purpose was to have sex with my girlfriend I had at the time and just play video games and just have enough money to pay my bills. And it was fun, I guess. It was a very chill, relaxed period of my life. And then shit went sideways, right? I lost, quote unquote, everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, fuck, what do I do now? Because the same things that brought me pleasure back then don't bring me pleasure right now. So I had to strive for a goal, and I failed many times trying to achieve the goal I'm at right now. But I'm still going for it, and I'm not gonna say it brings me fun, but it gives me purpose.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No, I can definitely see that. Now my question is a little bit back
Mm-hmm.
to you personally.
Yes.
So if you are currently in the law,
Mm-hmm.
if you're currently on the law side of
Yeah.
the
The
workforce, I don't know what you would,
yeah the lot. Yeah, white collar job. Yeah.
yeah, white collar job, and you say you are striving towards. So what specifically in terms of like working with your hands?
Mm-hmm.
You said pilot. You said what else?
IT, and mechanic.
IT. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you? I'm assuming you're taking steps towards
Of course.
those.
I'm going to college right now. Graduate with my AS this semester. So
Okay.
then I go to another 2 years for the bachelor's.
Okay.
And that's where I got to figure out what the fuck I want to do. So I've already emailed the pilot program in my school. I'm just waiting to hear back. I already know what to do for IT because that was my initial major.
Hmm.
And mechanic, I still haven't touched on it too much, but I know my school offers some shape of it, so I can talk to them. But the other two, I've at least touched upon. So of course, I'm taking steps. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember where I was going with that.
Uh huh.
Jeez, I can't even remember where I was going with that anymore.
No, of course.
Um,
Uh-huh. Well, let me take over while you think about it. Then
yep,
let
yep.
me
Go
let
ahead.
me poke your brain a little bit more. There's this quote. I forgot how it goes, but I think it goes along the lines of hard times create strong men create good times, and good times create weak men. Something like that. I think it's the general gist of it.
Okay.
Um, and I do wholeheartedly agree with that statement, because think about it, back in, let's say, the World War eras, how many guys were
Mm-hmm.
drafted, how many people had to, I think there was a like meat shortage, and if you were a
Yep.
true patriot, quote unquote, then you wouldn't buy meat, so you can send it over to the troops and
It
whatever,
was,
whatever,
I
whatever.
think,
Yeah.
meatless Sundays or meatless
Ye-
Mondays, I think, or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, exactly, something like that, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
you had to sacrifice for the greater good, and not just you. It was
Mm-hmm.
obviously everybody in the household,
Yep.
the moms, the dads, the sisters, the brothers, the dogs, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And like, that's a sacrifice a lot of people, I don't feel, now will ever make, because
Mm-hmm.
that was hard times back then, right? That was World War II. We had to do everything we can to win, and the
And
Red
we were
Scare
in
and
a
all that bullshit.
depression.
Exactly.
We were
I
in a
mean,
depression
we're
until the
we're in a
war.
recession right now, so
Yeah.
um you know but like that's the thing, though. It's like that hard time created a lot of, because think about it like that. If you're somebody who grew up during that hard time, right? Meatless Sunday, meatless Mondays, whatever the fuck it is, and then the concept of war, maybe your father doesn't come back or whatever the case might
Mm-hmm.
be, or you're in the scare of being drafted, like that is a
Mm-hmm.
completely different time frame, and a different way of living your life than
Mm-hmm.
it is right now, because everything's good, right? The worst we have is Ukraine versus Russia right now, and we're not even touching that.
And yeah, I mean, with that conflict specifically, I mean, we are sending, or we
Right,
were, I don't know if
right,
we currently are, but we were
right,
sending
right.
equipment
Equipment,
and
ammunitions, guns, yeah.
munitions.
Yeah, but that's different than being in the war.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And
And then
through.
the problem
Mhm.
becomes with the leader over on the
Russia.
bigger country, um, is
Yeah,
that
Vladimir.
he is like, he's essentially, he's like, let me finish this war. I'm not going to stop until whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Because as soon as he stops, if he stops of his own volition, they're
That
gonna
shows.
they're gonna pounce on him.
It's not even
His
that. It's also showing the weakness of Russia, that you couldn't even take over a tiny little country.
that, and then yeah, he's essentially like holding the world at gunpoint.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he literally told the U.S., if you interfere, I'm nuking your ass.
And I think that's also I when you go to see Avatar, you're going to see a trailer for the new Chris Nolan movie, Oppenheimer,
Mm-hmm.
about Robert Oppenheimer, the guy who
Yes, who
essentially
created
helped.
the yeah,
Yep,
Hiroshima. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yep, and like the creation of that was infamously, like, by all those guys, they said like, this is a mistake,
Of course.
that we messed with the atom, and so this is the world that we live in now, is that people are just holding giant guns at each other,
Of course.
and like, how do we navigate this type of world? you know it's
See,
it's a
from what I,
hard logistical thing
of
to
course.
process.
But in my opinion, it's because a lot of people just set it and forget it, if you will.
Hmm.
They like, how big was Ukraine when it first started? How many, and now, right? Ukraine is still going. People are still dying.
Yep.
Then how many news articles do you see about that? How many people do you see still in Instagram, Facebook, whatever the fuck you use, that still post Ukraine, Ukraine shit daily?
Hmm.
Like it's a lot about set it and forget it. Like, now it's about what's going on right now, what's going on today, what's going on next. Like, they don't care about what
And
happened.
yeah, no, I think that's a major issue in regards to the people's, like, especially with the invention of technology,
Mm-hmm.
the attention span, the way that news is consumed, and the way that news guys, they go about gathering and disseminating this
Yeah.
news, and
Yeah.
like how they deliver it. Like, yeah, obviously we still are getting snippets here and there, but yeah, no, with ongoing conflicts like that, it eventually, I mean, there's fatigue, there's emotional and mental fatigue, and then there's like people just, like that's the cycle of news is that, and it's unfortunate because like, yeah, this is a serious thing that's going on halfway across the world.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like the rest of the world eventually, we have to keep moves on, and that's an unfortunate side effect of technology and people's
Right.
attention spans.
Right. Of course. Of course. And I do like my own personal opinion would be that I'm a firm believer of there's no such thing as bad knowledge, just bad users. You get me? Like if I teach you
Mm-hmm.
tomorrow how to bring back the fucking dead, would that be something you would misuse, or is that the knowledge itself that's being used incorrectly? You get me? That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I do believe that just because it's not maybe mentally um positive for you to constantly get Ukrainian videos about people fucking dying and shit like that doesn't mean it's not
Mm-hmm.
happening. You get me? A lot of
Yeah.
people are out of sight, out of mind type of situation. Like
Yep.
we all know there's a war going, but we don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many people died. We don't know the ramifications of orphan children seeing their parents dismembered and shit like that. And I do feel to not be able to talk about that because of whatever reason, maybe mentally can't handle it, or whatever the case might be. I feel like that's doing a disservice to the actual situation that's going on.
Yeah, no, I would tend to agree with that. I mean, even when COVID
Exactly.
was a big thing a couple of years ago, when it first was coming around. I mean, that was all that the news was, and I was checking the CDC website daily, if not,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Eventually, we adapt, and we just
Right.
keep moving, and then it cycles itself out of the people's collective
And
collective unconscious, and people just either they learn to live with it, they decide that they're done, or I mean,
of course.
Christ, I was working just Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to go into an older folks
Mm-hmm.
apartment
Home. Yeah.
complex, and yeah, mask up the entire time,
Of
which
course.
obviously, I don't have a problem with that. I still don't understand the people that do.
Do because I can't
Um,
breathe.
yes, you can stop being a little baby.
Oh my
Um,
god. Hey, those are fighting words. You got to be careful with that, bro. Like,
then I'll fight them because
God
it's
damn,
not.
that sounds like toxic masculinity right there. Oh my god,
No,
willing to
I'm
die?
just I'm defending my point. That's what I'm doing. That's what you're doing. That's what I'm doing,
Ah, you see,
bitch.
you see, you see, you see. It's not toxic to defend your point. It's nice to have a hill you can stand on.
Unless the hill is just completely dumb.
But
Or
who are you to decide that? You get me? Like dumb is 20. Hindsight. You get me? Because there were a lot of people who were willing to die to not let the slaves go free. But yeah, 100% people should definitely like that's what I feel. A lot of people nowadays don't understand is self-sacrifice for the greater good. Like you messed up because and I'm sure you were choking under your mask and you couldn't breathe and you were really trying to take your breaths every now and then. Obviously, it's a joke,
mm-hmm,
but you did it because it's for the greater good, right? Because just
mm-hmm,
in case you don't want to give them any sort of anything that could hinder their health, of course, and a lot of people just don't do that shit. Like Miami, as soon as the COVID restrictions came off to be able to go to the beach and there was a limit, everyone
mm-hmm.
was like, nah, fuck this shit, we're all going. And literally the very
Gone.
next day it was closed again. Right, because a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people don't understand what the greater good is for. A lot of people just are very selfish, or just want to focus on themselves,
I
and
mean, that's human nature. I'm
of
gonna get
course,
me and mine, and
yeah, yeah,
and fuck you.
yeah, exactly. But human nature, it,
That's
it can't
why I
it
mean,
can't be
like,
fought against. Like it's human nature to reproduce as much as you fucking like human nature can still be fought against. You get me?
mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I would be worried because of how much I know myself. Like in an apocalyptic scenario, I would be one of the first to die. I'm not gonna front and say like, I can become this cold-hearted fucking
Mad Max
mind
starring
killer,
me.
fucking Last of Us doing some morally gray shit. And I don't know, I could probably do that if I survive long enough, but I just like I'm trying to be out here doing as much as I can.
Of course.
Yeah. And part of it is no fault of my own. Part of it is the way that I see the world is like I'm almost the guy that's like I'm almost a yes man to a certain extent. Like I don't like if somebody asks for help, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, of course. But that's
if they need help. So like if something catastrophic were to happen to the world, I would be too trusting. I would be too naive. I would be just too nice enough for this new status quo for the world. I would not survive. I'll be straight up.
See, and that's another difference between the good guy and the nice guy. You don't want to be the nice guy. You want to be the good guy. You get me? And I'm sure we all know the difference, but just in case any of us don't, the nice guy is basically, the equivalent of a simp, right? You'll do whatever the fuck it is. Exactly. You do whatever the fuck it is. Yes, daddy. Yes, mommy. Yes, I'll do it for you. Please,
because I am nice to you, I deserve whatever.
I opened the door for you. I opened the door for you, and you didn't suck my dick. What? Of course.
Hal from Megamind.
There you go. See, exactly.
I'm gonna send you a video for that too.
Ooh, by all means, please do. I'll make sure to watch it. Shots fired. Shots fired. But yeah, you want to be the good guy. You want to be the guy who's willing to help. Willing to be there, but the same guy, the guy who's not gonna be taken as a dumbass. As I said, you have to have a hill. Like I'm willing to help everybody every now and then, but if it becomes something repetitive where you just keep asking for money, if you just keep asking for my help, and I know it's something you can financially do or physically do, then no, fuck you. Like I'm not here to just constantly give you the way out. You gotta earn. You gotta earn it, bro. It's give and take.
Yeah.
And that's for a lot of people something they just don't understand because maybe they've never like I have a couple of basement dwelling brethrens I know, and they just don't know how to say no.
Naming names, no.
What?
Spilling the tea.
No, I would never name any names.
At least
Justin,
not on camera.
You. What? I didn't say nothing. But yeah, dude, and I feel part of being a man is having a hill, like a very a good hill, and PS4 is better than Xbox. That's not a good hill, but actually having
case in point.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
The one that you made. The one that you made.
First of all, Sony, you guys, you're Xbox losers are the reason we're paying for online services.
Stop it!
You're scrubs. You scrubs. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. It's all your fault.
You said not to. You said that was a stupid hill to die on, and you died on it. You died on it.
Exactly. But that's not my only hill. That's the difference, like but yeah, like a lot of people just
the people that die on the hill of PC is better than Xbox and PS4. You can't compare a $3,000 PC to a $500 Xbox. I'm gonna be straight up with you. That's like comparing
apples to oranges.
Well,
my humongous schlong next to Ron Jeremy. Okay, I may have a humongous schlong, but it's not in comparison. Look, all I'm saying is the only reason I hate Xbox is because you motherfuckers started the paying for the online access. That's the only reason I hate you guys. and then Sony adopted it, and I got so pissed. That's the only reason I fucking despise you guys.
All right, fair enough. Sorry, I think I might have cut you off.
Nah, you're good. But yeah, dude, it's for like realistically speaking, for me, right? For my own, corporal body, I do believe that I should have a goal. I should try to strive. Obviously, I'm not gonna be the most dangerous man in the world, but I should strive to at least try to be that.
The most dangerous game.
Of course. But I also have my fun. Sometimes where I'm just I'm okay with myself the way I am, and the way it works for me doesn't mean the same way it's going to work for you. Like, I'm sure you have your own definitions of what a guy is, which I would love to hear. And
I think I said mine already, didn't I?
I think so, but it was, but But I do believe that everybody has a different take on life. Everybody has a different take on what it takes to be a man, what it takes to be a woman, and so on and so forth. And these are all just my own.
And most of them, they're all valid to some extent.
Of course, what as I said, whatever floats your boat. I don't care. I'm not here to tell you to think X, Y, and Z. This is the way I think, and you feel free to pick it apart and agree, disagree, maybe find a middle ground, whatever the case might be. I don't care.
That's the world.
Exactly. But a lot of people, politically, Twitterly, online, just
Ideologically,
if you don't agree with me, then you're incorrect, and that's a very incorrect
comically.
way of thinking. Exactly, it's like the same way you spoke about Jordan Peterson and Ben Shapiro. Like there's a lot of things you don't agree with, but I guarantee you there's some things you do agree with. There's some things that you were teetering on, and then they give you a little push to pick a direction.
Well, yeah, no, I can see that they have very few for me, very few and far between points that I will agree with.
Yeah.
Again, that doesn't make me a supporter of theirs.
But now you a Ben Shapiro supporter, huh? And now you're a little piece of shit that and racism and me
Like
because you agree with some points.
Christ, fucking like Fox News even dumped and I don't like getting into the weeds on politics.
Yeah.
But Fox News even is urging their viewers, and that.
Yeah.
Those Fox News viewers,
They have an agenda.
Both sides, they have an agenda, but
of course,
Fox News even was like, you guys need to start supporting this other guy instead of Donald Trump, because
right.
Even they at some point, they have to say, we gotta dump this guy, we gotta, and that the viewers for Fox News are gonna take everything.
Yep.
At fate, they're going to take it all and they're going to say, we're doing this. They're not going to question it.
Of course.
At least most of them aren't.
Of course. And that falls in line with the whole, you don't have your own identity. You don't have a hill to die on. Like, what I want for a president is somebody who's able to do the job good. I don't give a shit if you're a girl. I don't give a shit if you're a guy.
I have a myriad of problems with the current president. And,
of course.
And I voted for him, and I know but I knew for me personally,
it's better than the other choice.
It was better than the other choice.
Yeah, and that's a horrible way to do politics.
Look at what happened. Look at the aftermath. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Look at what happened over a year ago.
And a lot of people would disagree with you. Trump was the best president they've ever had.
A lot of people.
Of course, because he won. Of course. So
because he did win.
Yeah, see, but that's something.
We're just waiting for him to get back into office.
Yeah, 2028, baby.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm saying 2023.
Oh, wow. Well, if he doesn't go to jail first for having all those FBI documents in his
That's a joke.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a bit. You got to go along with the bit.
That went over my head. That one went over my head. I'm so sorry.
We got to start doing these bits.
But see, that's also another reason that I believe our politics. I'm
gonna hold up a big flashing sign that says "bit," and then you just got to go along with it. We got to freestyle. Okay. We got to freestyle bits. No, right. Donald Trump is coming back, 2023.
Yes,
he's gonna storm the Capitol again, and he's gonna take his office.
You know what's crazy to me that when they told me that when Trump won, that we would have the first female lingerie first lady.
What?
Ivanka, whatever the fuck her name is. She did lingerie. She was a lingerie model or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, that's wild.
That's probably why he married her.
Shit. Say less, bro. If I had that type of money, you damn well I'm marrying a lingerie model. Shit. But shit. But anywho, yeah, dude, there's just a whole bunch of systems that a lot of people complain about. Like our political system, I complain about it. Like I don't think it should be bipartisan. I think it should definitely, more than just one party. There's actually this state that does a ranking system where you rank, let's say your first 4 candidates, right? Like as an example, let's say Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Barack Obama, and fucking Dutch. There you go, Dutch. You're presidential candidate now.
Yeah.
So what you would do is you would rank them in, since there are 4 candidates, 1 through 4. And let's say Dutch is my number 1, Trump is my number 2, Joe Biden is my number 3, and Barack Obama is my number 4.
Okay.
And let's say for whatever reason you lose, right? So you were my number 1. So now it goes to my number 2, which is Trump. And let's say Trump loses, then it goes to my number 3, which is which was Joe. And if Joe loses, then it goes to my number 4, Obama. So that way. Exactly. So that way, my vote always counts, and it's not going to be wasted on a third party, person.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most, in my opinion, the most best way to get actually majority rules
Mm-hmm.
in terms of a presidential candidate, because our system sucks.
Yeah, our system sucks because, yeah, again, like you said,
I'm
it's
sorry you
it
didn't
comes
win.
down. It comes, yeah. I feel so sad. I feel so sad. I'm just waiting, just waiting. Um, but yeah, the idea of the two-party system, the majority, for people, they think it's down to the two people, and then they don't want to waste their vote on an independent.
Exactly. Like
You
that
know,
that
who's
how often?
who we know statistically is not going to win.
Yeah. How
It's
often
just
do you
it's
hear
just
that? I don't want to waste my vote.
mm-hmm. Yeah, no. The political system in our country, I think needs. I think it needs a 3.0 patch.
A 3.0. God
We're skipping
damn.
2.0. We need to go all the way to 3.
God damn. But yeah, man, it's just something that's so ridiculous. And as I said, being a guy is living life on hard mode, especially if you're an ugly guy. Like that's super hard mode right there.
Oh,
But
so you're talking to me?
I would never talk to you. Put up bit, putting up the bit, fucking shit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But 100%, bro. Like I do believe there are some basic requirements that you need to quote unquote be a guy. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to, if you want to say, hey, I'm a guy because I, feel like a guy, whatever. Sure,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. Like, sure, you're a male. It doesn't mean you're a man.
Mm-hmm.
You get me?
Yeah, no, I
Because
get that. Because the idea of being a man is so wide and vast. I mean,
exactly,
there can't be strict rules on it. I mean,
exactly,
there are specific tiny requirements, but everything else, it's honestly up to the individual person. And again, like you said, you're not gonna push it on anybody. I'm not gonna push mine on anybody either. That's just how I feel.
exactly. Like for example, if you want to be a guy, a girl becomes a guy through transgender, and you're a guy. Sure, you're a guy, you're a
Mm-hmm.
male, but you're not a
Yeah.
man until you fulfill, at least in my opinion, what it takes to be a man. Like I don't give a shit
Mm-hmm.
if you're a girl. I don't give a shit if you're trans. I don't give a shit if you're a dog, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what I feel it takes to be a man, and if, in my opinion, but if you don't fulfill at least my opinion as to the bare minimum of what it takes to be a man, then I'll still consider you a guy, right? Like you're still a guy, like you're still a dude, whether you're
Mm-hmm.
transmorph, you transgendered into it or not. I don't care,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't mean you're a man, like the
Mm-hmm.
idea, like there's a difference between the physical attributes of a man and the ideological attributes of a man, and that's
Mm-hmm.
where I feel a lot of people don't succeed in the ideological. Like
Mm-hmm.
physically, you can be a man. Physically, you can be ripped. Physically, you can go from a girl to a
Mm-hmm.
guy. Physically, you can make it, but I don't care about that. That to me has absolutely no bearings on the ideological side of being a man. And that's what
Mm-hmm.
it, in my opinion, it is to be a man when you fulfill that ideological aspect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I get that.
And now, next episode, we'll talk about what it is to be a woman.
No, we're not gonna talk about that because we're not women.
So it doesn't
That
mean we
doesn't.
can't. It doesn't matter. Hello, are you a cat? Are you a cat? Are you a cat, sir? Are you a cat? Are you a meow meow?
Some days
No, 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 no. Are you a kitty cat? Like an actual
no,
physically kitty cat? Can you identify a kitty cat?
I could.
So what's the difference? There you go. Shabam and cut.
No, we're gonna talk about relationships next episode.
Please, please, please do it. Kitty
And I
cat.
and I want us both to come at it with some personal stories.
Oh, I got
If you feel
stories for
comfortable.
you. I got stories for you. I don't care. Like my life is an open book. You ask, I answer. So
That's a dangerous game to play.
oh, it is, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna tell you the whole truth.
Mm.
You get me? You get me? It's like you ask me how much I make, I'll tell you right now. I don't care. Like knowledge is power, baby.
Yeah, no, I like to talk about relationships next episode. What does it mean to have a good relationship, a healthy relationship? Obviously, we're not experts. This is just our dumbass opinions.
And our life
Our
experience, of
novice,
course.
yeah, our 20-somethings novice experience
Of
compared to,
course.
this is just how we see the world. This is not an end all be all.
Yeah.
We're not experts in this arena. We're just gonna take our life experiences and other experiences that we've seen, all
Right.
this other stuff, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna say, hey, what constitutes a good, healthy relationship, or what constitutes a relationship in general?
Of
I would
course.
love to hear your side.
No, I have so many thoughts on that one. Honestly, I think that's the one area we might mostly agree with compared to this one. So
Okay,
so I feel like it's something we majorly agree in.
okay, we'll find out.
We'll find out
If
next
you want to
episode,
send me
baby.
some more material
Uh,
that I can do research on,
for you to ignore, sure thing. Jab,
yeah,
jab, jab, stab, stab, stab.
well, we'll find out. We'll find out if it's worthwhile.
Wow, that's how you felt. Jesus Christ, damn, Dutch, you came for the jugular, my guy.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, all right. So, you guys already know, we're breaking up the band next episode. So,
Mm-hmm. Yep. This is after next episode. There will be no more. I'm
nah,
sure it's gonna get ugly, nasty.
nah. As I said, I feel like that's the one. I feel like that's the one topic we'll probably mostly agree on. Maybe subtle differences, subtle nuances here and there, but
For
majority,
sure.
I think we'll agree on.
We'll find out. I don't know.
We'll,
Well, like I'm sure I don't know the full story with how you feel, and I don't think you know the full story and how I feel. But we'll
there you go.
find out when we
Tomorrow,
get to there.
to, tomorrow, next episode, we'll wear our hearts on our sleeves just for you guys.
I mean, I'll wear it halfway on my sleeve.
Nah, kitty cat.
I'll tattoo it on my arm. I'll take a physical picture of my heart and I will tattoo it on my arm.
I'll take a picture of a kitty cat and I'll just write Dutch on it.
You get that tattoo.
Ooh, 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 Dutch, say less. Say less. I'll get it, bro. Don't worry.
All right.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for sticking around this long, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hey, say the line.
I hope your batteries have been recharged while listening to the Dead Batteries podcast, and I
Whoa.
hope you.
That, and then you remember the other one?
I don't. I'm sorry. You're the outro guy.
Okay, fine. You say don't do,
Oh, don't do what I would do.
and don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Bye, guys.
Bye.